The world of getting things graded, video games, trading card game cards, sports cards, comic books, it's an interesting thing. I mean, you could have something in perfect condition and say it's worth $100 on the secondary market. The second you have it graded, it could be worth $10,000, 100,000. Who the hell knows? Is it really worth that though? I mean, there's been a lot of news out there concerning stuff like this. This is one I want to talk about today. This Sonic the Hedgehog all-time record for any Sega Genesis game sold, $430,000. $430,500. My bad. I missed that $500. That's a lot of fucking money for one of the most common Sega Genesis games ever to be created. Just like previously with like Super Mario Bros. Or even Super Mario 64. This Super Mario 64 sold for $1.56 million. Holy crap. I've said it before. There's got to be like warehouses or distribution centers with like an old box collecting dust under a rack somewhere with possibly hundreds of these games lying around. It's quite obvious. I mean, it's more of just a suspicion, I guess. You can't really point fingers and make like claims as fact, but it does seem like something strange is going on here. There's been a lot of talk about stuff like this. I did see this article a while back from Seth Abramson, where he's talking about WATA and how, WATA is the big one that's been in the news lately. A lot of accusations, collusion, market manipulation, all sorts of crazy stuff, right? In this article, I'm not going to read through it. It's a very long article. I will put a link to this in the description because it's a very interesting read. I read this, I believe, the day it came out or the day after. I read it a couple weeks back and I thought it was crazy. But I mean, you can just read the title. Video game grading house WATA told the New York Times that its employees can't sell WATA graded games due to conflicts of interest. Makes sense, right? So why did one of its SEC listed co-founders just sell me three? So one of the co-founders of WATA was selling, graded games. That's definitely some crazy ish right there, in my opinion. But this company, not to be outdid, they got to be up in it too. I mean, there's a lot of legit auction houses. There's a lot of legit interest in graded products. I mean, look at the Pokemon trading card game. There's a lot of graded cards out there that go for a little bit of money, go for a lot of money. People have nostalgia for some of that stuff and they're willing to pay for it. They're willing to pay to get their cards graded as either an investment or just a collectible. Myself personally, it doesn't matter how you feel about that. If you like grading products, I'm not saying I would never own something that was graded, but I just don't see myself going out of the way to buy something graded or to get something graded, because a lot of these things, I mean, why do I want it behind like a slab of plastic? I mean, especially video games. I guess, if you're making money, it makes sense. But I also at the same time feel like, how is it this Sonic the Hedgehog sold for so much money? It's WATA graded, 9.4. Now, you go into trading card games or anything else, a little minor bit of damage, you're out of that 9 range, like immediately. So I'm just really curious with the Sonic the Hedgehog like this, and I'll get some close-ups. I'll show you some close-ups in a second. A 9.4 grade makes absolutely no sense for a sealed product that has as much damage as this thing does. So it almost feels like and seems like I said, you can't just make claims as fact, but the way it seems is like, it depends on who you are. It could be like people like this guy, I mean, that's selling stuff. It could be money laundering schemes. It could be all sorts of crazy stuff. But for this game to sell for that much money, I just don't understand how any of these common games that there's millions of them floating out there, there's ones that are not sealed that are in better condition than what this is in. And this got a 9.4 and sold for nearly $500,000. Now, am I jealous of that? No, because I know if I have a good feeling. I mean, I would love to have that kind of money, wouldn't you? I mean, so there's always going to be that desire. Man, I wish I had that kind of money. I wish I had an object that I could sell for that kind of money that doesn't have any like value to me that I want to hold on to it. Like, let me sell this for $500,000, buy a house type of thing, put kids through college, whatever, right? But it just really feels like it doesn't matter if I had this Sonic the Hedgehog game, or I had one in a better condition, could have I sold it for that much money, even if it was graded? Probably not, because I personally feel like it's a whole other thing going on, and it's not everybody who can sell these games for that, because there's going to be that inner circle of people who are passing money around, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, I really want to take a look at this particular cartridge, close-up wise. I mean, you have to look at this for this to be. It's a sealed, graded copy, sealed rating of an A, clamshell, made in Japan, no rating, Genesis, Sega. All the information's up there. 9.4 on the end cap and on the front of the label, all that good stuff. 9.4 is pretty fucking much perfect condition, as close to perfect as you can get. You could have had this come right off of the factory line and be sent for grading, and it would not have gotten as good of a score as this. Like, a lot of times you get, like, I always default to like trading card game stuff because a lot of people do get those things graded. You get a pack fresh card pulled out, sent for grading, you're not gonna instantly get a 10. There's gonna be those little microscopic things. Yeah, there's so many companies who do all this grading that what's really, the default for things? What are you looking for as far as grading goes? If this got a 9.4, I mean, look at the shrink wrap first off. I mean, it's kind of folded up there. Are you grading the shrink wrap? I mean, that's part of it. That's part of it. It's a sealed copy. And then you get down here, there's a big fat ass fucking tear. Is that a tear in the shrink wrap? Is that a tear in the actual box? It looks like a tear in the shrink wrap. I mean, how the fuck did this get such a high rating with all this little damage? You got that tear there, and it curls up right there. Looking at the box, like the label, I mean, there's a lot of dust and like fucking fur and shit on here. Like there looks like, I mean, I could be wrong. Looks like there could be a little like damage to the label, and that's just like fresh off the factory floor. Like that's how things go. Like the label, the actual cover is not perfect. That could be a piece of dust. I don't know, but these are all things that like you would imagine a grading company would be dinging it quite a bit because those grades should mean something, right? And then that big ass fold up here, the wrinkles in the plastic. You could be arguing, well, it's the overall product that's being graded. Yeah, but when it's a sealed product, the seal is a big part of it. And this seal is not a 100% sealed game when you have a big piece of it ripped down there. I don't know what the back of it looks like, underneath here looks like, but to me, if I was running a grading company, I wouldn't have graded this a 9.4. So, like, how does WATA decide on how things are graded? How does it doesn't matter WATA. It could be any company out there. Like, what are the guidelines? That's really what I'm trying to say. What are the guidelines? And why would this, like, I'm sure you could possibly find other examples of the same exact game being graded lower, maybe higher, that type of thing, either in worse condition or better condition. It just makes absolutely no freaking sense to me. Like, how does this work? This company, Golden Auctions, I mean, they're an auction house selling a lot of stuff. Record in this grade for Batman #1. Holy crap. It's a lot of freaking money, dude. But just look at the stuff these things sell for. And I think a lot of it is legit. But then you get to those things that are just, this isn't Superman #1, or Detective Comics, whatever. It's not as special as you would think, right? And I think part of this really starts manipulating the market, starts making people think that they have things that are worth money. But like I said a little while ago, I feel like I could have had the same game and I couldn't have sold it for that much money. I feel like it's a big inner circle, not making any statements as fact here, but I feel like it's an inner circle that are exchanging money around for whatever reasons, and this thing's going to blow up at some point. I mean, there's been a lot of videos out there, a lot of accusations, evidence, weird little things. Like I said with this article, the bubble's going to burst, and I think there's a lot of people out there who are seeing that there's money to be made, and they may be spending money that they maybe can afford, maybe can't afford to get things graded, thinking that they're going to be worth money. And that's fine if you want to do that. I think that may be a gamble in a sense. But then at the same time, there are people out there, and I'm seeing it on eBay every day, that even things that are not sealed, just complete in box, selling for a ton of money over what it sold for a year ago. And at some point, something's got to give. I mean, that Super Mario Bros. That was sold, that was sealed in a box. 2017 is sold for $30,000. A lot of freaking money. I still think that's too much, but that's just me. 2019, 2 years later, $100,000. And then in the year 2021, another 2 years, $2 million. How does the same copy exchange hands so many times and continually skyrocketing in value? Like, what has changed? I think this is absolutely crazy. I mean, there's some nuts stuff going on here. I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say. This was not really I didn't script this video or anything. It's just thoughts in my head. Like, what the fuck is going on? When I saw that Sonic the Hedgehog, that's freaking nuts, dude. There's the back. I mean, I wish I could get a closer image of the back there. Okay, well, we got a little bit of an image here. I mean, it's not the best resolution, but looking at the back of the box, I mean, the seal looks better than it did on the front, but still a lot of wrinkles and whatnot. Maybe those wrinkles and rips really made this one unique and worth that nearly $500,000. Let me know what you guys think down below. Really do appreciate every single one of you mofos. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Can't say it enough. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye and boom. Bye.